Hello viewers, welcome to my channel. Today I want to simply show you how to install Laravel in your computer. So today I'll be installing it on a Windows system, okay? So the first thing we have to do is to go to the Laravel documentation, and then you go to the installation, which is right here, okay? Then if you scroll down, you will see what you need to do, your first Laravel project. Okay, so the first step is to run this command on our terminal. But before here, we need to install a composer, and also we need to install a local server in your system if you do not have it. So I think the first thing you will need to do is to install XAMPP. Okay, XAMPP is a local server that comes with PHP. So once you install XAMPP, you will have the Apache server, MariaDB, PHP, and so you're gonna have all of these installed in your computer. So if you don't have XAMPP installed or any local server, I advise you install this. Once is installed, if you're on Windows, you can click here. If you're on Linux, if you're on Mac OS, you can click on this. So after installation, you're going to see when you open your computer here and you go to this PC and then you open it, you're going to see this XAMPP. You're going to see the XAMPP folder. That is after installation. Okay, then the second thing you're going to do is to install a composer. A composer is a dependency manager for PHP. Okay, so you need to install this. It is needed, so you can go ahead to install it. I already have it in my system, so I'm not going to install it again. Now after that, the next thing you're going to install is the Node.js. Okay, Node.js, that's JavaScript framework. Okay, so you should go ahead and install this. Also install the recommended version for users, this version. So when you are done with all of this installation, okay, then we can go ahead to do this. So after the installation, the next thing we're going to do is we are going to create this Laravel project. Of course you can create it anywhere, but I want to create it inside this XAMPP folder, inside of the XAMPP folder. So I'm going to open the XAMPP folder and I will open the htdocs. You can see the htdocs here. So I'm going to create the folder inside of the htdocs folder. Okay, so I'm going to be using command line to do that. So what we're going to do, I will open my terminal here. So inside my terminal, I will navigate back to my root folder, that is the C drive. Here, I think I have to put it side by side. So I have to navigate to this C. You can see the C right here. Okay, good. So this C here is exactly the C we are here. So I'm already in this C. Okay, so when I open this C, I want to go to the XAMPP folder here. So I'm simply write cd XAMPP. Okay, so I'm now in the XAMPP folder. So when I open the XAMPP folder, I'm going to see a folder here, htdocs. Where is it? Okay, so here, so I'm going to navigate to that folder, htdocs. Okay, so I am currently in this folder now. In my command through my terminal, I am here, or the command line. So I'm here in the htdocs folder. So what I want to do is to install the project, or install Laravel inside of this folder. So let's go back to the documentation, and then so the first thing we're going to do is to run this composer create Laravel create command. So I'm simply going to copy this. I will copy it, and I will go back to my terminal here, and I'm going to paste it, but I'm going to change the name. Example app, I'm going to say Laravel tutorial Okay, I'm gonna call it Laravel tutorial. Let me bring this up so you can see clearly. So I'm gonna call it Laravel tutorial. Okay, then I'm gonna press enter. So it's going to start the installation process. Okay, now this is, yeah, okay, as you can see, it has started the installation right here, and currently you can see the folder here, the Laravel tutorial. You can see it right here, Laravel tutorial. So this is gonna take a couple of minutes to install, so I'm going to pause the video, and once it's done installing, I will play the video back. See you at the other side. Okay, so the installation is done, as you can see. So what I'm going to do next is I want to go into this folder. I want to go inside of it and then open the folder in my Visual Studio Code. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to say cd Laravel underscore tutorial. Okay, and in order to open it with Visual Studio Code, I'm going to say code dot, I'll press the enter key and wait for it to open my Visual Studio Code. I think that is running, so it's gonna take a little while. Okay, that is done. So here I have the Laravel being installed, the project. So I have a lot of files here, plenty files here. So so with these, Laravel is being installed, you can start. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the terminal. I'm going to open the terminal here, right here, and I'm going to run a command to save it. But before then, I want to open the XAMPP, the one I told you about to install. So I will go and run the Apache server. I'm going to start the Apache server, and I'm going to start my SQL, my SQL, as people like to pronounce it. Okay, so I'm waiting for them to come up. It's coming up. Okay, I think they are running now. Okay, so now having done this, let's go back to the documentation and see what they have. So after running it, okay, we've already done this. You have to go into the application and then do this PHP artisan serve. So I'm going to do that immediately. So I will run that in what's in my command line, but it's not popping up. So I'm going to run that here. I'm going to say PHP artisan serve. So here I'm serving the application. So I'm going to press the enter key and wait for the application to be served. I think it's running. It's going to take a while. So let's just hold on a little while. Okay, so as you can see, it's being served. So what we're going to do, I'm simply going to hold down the control key and then click on this link. So it's gonna open up the project in my browser. It's gonna open up in the browser. So you can see it is serving as 1.2. That's a local host, 8,000. So it's loading. Wow. So this is my Laravel project. So Laravel is being installed. So you can see this is the initial installation of Laravel. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set up the database. I'm going to set up a database for this. I'm going to create a database and run migration so that you can understand how to set up and start working with your Laravel. Okay, so so what we're simply going to do is I will have to go back to this. Okay, so in this place, first of all, let me create a database. We have to create a database. Now, where is the env file? So the env file, this is the environment. So this is where we set up the environment. variables, and we'll be concentrating on these alone to set up the database. So here you have the DB connection, you have the DB host, you have the DB port, and then the database name, username, and then the password. So we're going to create a database and then fill up um, this section. Okay, so let's create a database. Okay, so I have now the PHP my admin opened. So go right to new, click on new, and I'm going to create a database with which I will set up the Laravel application. So here it says database name, so I'm going to type in the name of the database. I'm going to call it Laravel underscore tutorial. I mean, you can name it anything you want, but I just choose to use this name. Okay, Laravel tutorial. So I'm gonna go straight to create, and okay, so database that has been created. And if I check where, okay, if I check right here, you can see it's here without table. So do not create any table. You don't need to create any table inside of here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our Laravel application folder, open in Visual Studio Code, and here we're going to change the database name here. So the database name, we call it Laravel underscore tutorial. Okay, so it's, you're gonna leave the port still the same port, is the local host and it's my SQL connection. And for the password, it doesn't have any password, then the root is gonna be root. Okay, so I'm going to save this and close up this environment variable. So what we're going to do is, the next thing I'm going to do now is to install Laravel Breeze. Okay, now Laravel Breeze is actually a starter kit. So I'm going to go to the getting started. Let me hold on. Let's let it load. Okay, so I'll go to the basics. Okay, I have to refresh this page. I think I stopped it from reloading, so I have to refresh it. Okay, so I have the page loaded. So right here under installation, you can see starter kits. So I'm going to click on the starter kits and it's going to open up. So here we're going to install this Laravel Breeze. Now this is not really compulsory or mandatory. I mean, from here you can start developing your Laravel application, but I just want to show you, something, how you can set it up and how you can be able to log in and log out. So we go straight down. Let's check out how. So when we install Breeze, we're gonna have something like this. Okay, it's gonna come with some pages, login page, logout, and a whole lot of that. So the first thing we're going to do is to install. So we're going to copy this composer require Laravel Breeze -dev development. So I'm going to copy this code right here. I'll go to my Visual Studio Code. So I open my terminal initially, and I'm gonna paste this thing. I'm gonna paste the code right here. So, and I'll press my enter. So this is going to start the installation process. Okay, you can do it in the terminal, but the reason why I didn't do it in the terminal is because I am already saving the application in the terminal, so I did not want to stop this, or we can still stop it and start it, but since I've already started, let it just be running. So you can see it is installing, and it's going to take a couple of minutes to install, and I'm going to pause this video. Once the installation is done, I will come back to you at the other side. Okay, the installation is done. So let's go back to the documentation again. So after running this command, the next thing we need to do is to run this PHP artisan breeze installed. So I'm going to copy this, come to Control C, copy, and I will go back to my terminal and paste it right here, and I'm going to run this. Okay, so it's asking which Breeze stack would you like to install. So here we have the Breeze with Alpine.js, we have the Livewire, React, Vue, and API only. So I want to work with a Blade. So I'm going to type in the Blade because I want to install the Blade. So would you like to would you like that mode support? I will just say no, and then it says which testing framework do you prefer. Okay, let me go with the first one. Then okay, installing and building node dependencies. Okay, so this node dependencies, this is one of the reasons why you have to install the Node.js. Okay, yeah, that's the reason you have to install Node.js for this node dependency. Okay, so it's installing and also building the node dependency. Sorry. So it's gonna take a couple of minutes, so I'm going to pause the video. When it's done, I will play the video. Okay, so I'll see you at the other side. Okay, so the installation is done. So the next thing we're going to do, we're going to go back to the documentation. You have to go back to the documentation. So we're going to migrate PHP artisan migrate. So we're going to migrate run this command to migrate. So this is simply going to create tables in the database for us. Okay, so in my next video I'm gonna talk about this file structure and what this does, but for now just follow up. So you're gonna check out for the next video. So running a migration file, I'm trying to migrate the file. So what this typically does is, let me show you. I just feel like, okay, let me go to the database here. I'll go to migrations. Okay, so here we have migrations here. So we have create user stable, create password reset token, create file job, create personal. So what this is going to do, it's simply going to create tables in the database. It's going to create users table, it's going to create password reset tokens table, it's going to create this table and also this table. So this is what this will basically do. Okay, that is the meaning of the migrations. So is migrating the table, preparing database, and then is migrating the tables. Okay, so 1 2 3 4 4. Okay, now the tables are migrated. So let's go back to the database and check. That's what we're going to do. So here I'm going to click on the Laravel tutorial. Okay, database, and let's see what is inside of it. It's still loading. Let's see if those tables were created or not. Okay, so right here you can see we have these failed jobs, users table, personal. So this is what migration does for us. Okay, but that is not the scope of this tutorial. Okay, so I'm going to go back to this. So we're going to run npm install. So this is gonna install the dependency. That's why you have to install Node. If you don't have Node.js, this is gonna be a big problem for you. Okay, so I'm going to copy this, Ctrl C. I will go back to my terminal here and I will paste it right here, and I'll press enter, and this is gonna take a little while to install. So I'm gonna pause the video, and once it's done I'm gonna play the video back. Okay, so see you at the other side. Okay, the installation is done. So before we further in running the last command, I guess, I'm going to show you something. So if I open up this is the local host. I mean, this is the output of this our project. We're running the project. So observe here, we do not have any login or register button here. There's no login or register button. Okay, so let's go back to the documentation. So the last thing we're going to do is to run this command npm run dev. So I'm going to copy this command and I will go back to here and I'm going to paste it and press the enter key. So it's running, so let's just hold on a while it finished running. Okay, as you can see, it's completed. So npm, you might be asking, npm stands for node package manager. It's JavaScript package manager, just like we have composer for PHP. Yeah, for PHP is a package manager. Okay, so we have this running, and then if we go back to display, so this is probably the last thing we are supposed to do here, the last thing here. So let's go to our project and I'm going to refresh this and see what we've got. It's running. Let's wait a little while. Let's hang on while it's it loads. Okay, all right, if you notice here, you can see we have the login and we have the register. So this is what Breeze does for us. I mean, that's why I had to show you before I run that npm, because we didn't have such thing. So here we have the login, we have the register. So here, if we try to log in, so I just click on the login button and waiting for it to load. Yeah, as you can see, it's loading. So it's going to take me to the login page. So let's just hang on. I don't know why my system is slow. Okay, so here we are in the login page. As you can see, we are in the login page. So if I try to enter any email, let's say user, and then just type any password and try to log in. Let's see what happens. So it's loading. So it says these credentials do not match our records. This is because we've not created any user yet. So we have to go back. Okay, we have to go back and then we have to register a user first. So this is more like the Laravel Breeze gives you this login and this registration will I call it structure or whatever. So I can go to registration, so you don't need to worry about logging in, creating a login and then registration. So Laravel Breeze helps you with this. This is the starter kit, that's why it's called a starter kit. Okay, so here we are, the registration form. So I'm gonna call my name. I'm gonna say my name is code with Cassidy, and then my email is gonna be code with Cassidy at gmail.com, and then password I'm gonna say 123456 123456. Let me make it 7878. Then I'm gonna click on the register button. Okay, so let's hang on while it registers this user. So let's see what happens. Okay, so as you can see, it's registered and logged me in. You can see my name right here, code with Cassidy. You can see the logout button. So this is the dashboard. You were logged in. I can go to my profile. It's loading. So this gives you a starter kit. So with this you can start developing your Laravel application from here. the authentication, user authentication, logging in and logging out is already here for you, and this is why it's called a starter kit. So this is basically how to install Laravel, set it up, and then get started. So you can see here, if I want to update my status, if I want to delete my account, these are things that I really have. So they serve as a dashboard. You can, you know, continue from here. So I can log out right here, and it's gonna get me logged out. And if I want to log in back, I can log in, go to login, and then here I'm gonna type in my email address, and I'm gonna type in 128 1234567 8, and I'll click on the login button. So this is going to log me in to the dashboard. Okay, so this is basically how to do this. If you have not subscribed to my channel, subscribe to my channel, click on the like button and click on the notification bell so that when we post more videos you will get notified. In the next video I'm going to explain the Laravel file structure. I mean, the whole of this you see here are bootstrap, config, database, the node models, and I mean a whole lot of stuff you have here. I'm going to explain all of these and exploit it, and I'll be creating more videos in Laravel. I mean, this is going to be a series. It's going to be in series. I'm going to create a lot of tutorials, well explained tutorials in Laravel. So click on the subscribe button. Click on the subscribe button. And thank you for watching. I hope you understand. I'll see you in the next video.